Love is in the air, and so is the opportunity to build a rock-solid financial foundation with your special someone. Today's guest is here to sprinkle some money management wisdom to help our relationships and make sure our shared finances feel the love. SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union encourages us to build the tools for a good financial relationship with our significant other. Joining us today is Tamara Thomas, Fruit Ridge Branch Manager for SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union. Hey, Tamara.
Hello.
Okay, so we're talking about money. Why is it that the money talk, the money conversation can be a little bit tricky with couples?
So if we think about finances, discussions around money can just be so emotionally charged. You know, a lot goes into it, how we were raised to feel about money, what are our own feelings about spending, our goals. So when you take that and you're combining it with somebody who maybe has their own ideas, that can make it emotional. It can make it very personal. And so those, like you said, can make it very tricky. It's uncomfortable. Nobody really likes uncomfortable conversations, but it's one that needs to be had.
And to that point, I mean, because you could be a match made in heaven, but your finances, maybe not so much. What are some common money missteps couples should be aware of?
So I think the most frequent one is just not having the conversation. Like we just spoke about, it's an emotionally charged, uncomfortable conversation. So we shy away from it. So we need to have those conversations. A really good way to get that started is to talk about your goals, right? That's without saying, how do you feel about money? But what are your financial goals? See if you can find a common ground and then kind of use that to guide your conversations. Another thing is not having a budget, right? Especially when you are a couple who is combining finances. You need to kind of create this roadmap, if you will, for how you want to handle your finances in the future.
Yeah, so even though it might feel a little bit awkward at first, you're gonna get into a routine, you're gonna be able to talk about it and hopefully work on a path together to have a successful financial relationship.
That's right.
Finding common ground on spending can feel like an uphill battle for some couples. But any advice on navigating opposing money habits?
Yes, and so one of the great things that you can do is consider having a joint checking account that is just for your financial spending. So things like your food, your housing, those required bills that you have together, and then keeping your other finances separate. That way you're not having to have these conversations. That is one really great way. That doesn't work for everybody. You know, I think about as I enter into a relationship, it's all in, right? I just want to combine everything together. Setting spending limits for each other can help, you know, whether that's a weekly, daily, whatever's best for your relationship. That way, if you want to spend more than that, it starts a conversation. So that conversation, again, is going to be ultimately important.
Yes, step one, have the talk.
Have the talk. Always, continuously, you know.
Yes, important, continuously, not just one and done.
That's right, and it will get more comfortable. The more you start having this conversation, it's going to be a little tricky at first, but it will get more comfortable.
And maybe it'll provide some relief, too, because now whatever you kind of wanted to get off the table, you're able to have those conversations. Let's say a couple is knee-deep in financial disagreements. What practical steps can they take to find some common ground?
You know, not a lot of people realize that there are financial counselors out there that can help you. Now, it's not a relationship counselor, so it's not going to help with that aspect, but they may help you sit down, look at your finances, and create a budget. Again, that budget is going to be a roadmap for the conversations that you can have. So seek out some financial counseling. A lot of credit unions actually offer that free to their members. So that is a really great way to kind of get those conversations started. Seek out the help of somebody who is a professional in that field and can really help you guide that roadmap.
Any final tips for our couples out there who want to have that money talk about finances?
Sure. So I think in all relationships, it's about communication and flexibility. So again, you have to have these conversations as often as possible and start them very soon in your relationship. And then flexibility. Make sure that, you know, you both have needs, whatever those financial needs are. Make sure yours are getting met while also bending and flexing to meet your other partner's needs too, and that's the way you can be successful in a relationship when it comes to finances.
There we go. From Tamara. Tamara, thank you so much.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
All righty, of course. And you can visit one of the many SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen, and you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.